My favorite run in the NFR is 2023. Whenever they put up, the 4 guys that's going for the gold buckle and stuff like that, they put them on the big screen and stuff like that. And I can remember watching it the night before. I'm not even on there, and I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm doing all the math in my head. I'm like, no.
Media sees it. I see it, and I mean, it was freaking electric moment.
Everybody thinks that I'm yelling at Dalton Massey. Me and Dalton were so far away from each other, you couldn't see each other. I mean, you've been to Thompson Mac, you're down the alleyway. You can't see the arena. You're back there.
Mm-hmm.
But the camera follows me, and it's got it on me. Will walks up and says, I'm going to go see what happens. Will is walking to it, and Dalton had already nodded. Dalton breaks the barrier. And Matt's holler, he said, you did it, you did it. I said, hell yeah. And I said, Matt, you got to take back everything you said earlier about how it couldn't be done. Because as the day played out, it made it to where it could. Man, you back in the box in the 10th round. Every kid growing up wants that opportunity. I backed in the box in the 10th round with a slim chance to win the world and got it pulled off. I mean, you can't hold that emotion in. There's no way.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Let's Freakin Rodeo podcast presented by Boot Barn.
Tyler Waguespack, 5-time world champion. Extremely humble, but the perfect combination of humble and confident.
Sharp, intelligent, motivational. I learned a lot just sitting here learning what it takes to be a winner. If you love rodeo, you're going to love this podcast. He's one of the greatest rodeo cowboys that has ever lived, especially in the steer wrestling.
That's freakinrodeo.com with an N. Check us out. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch us on the Cowboy Channel YouTube or any other audio platform there is. Also, if you want to turn your TV on, we're on the Cowboy Channel. 6 p.m. on Thursdays. They put us on other time slots. Check us out. Let us know. See you in the podcast.
See you in the pod.
Gonzales, Louisiana. Bulldogging was always a passion for you?
Man, whenever I grew up, I actually, first off, starting off, I thought I was going to be a calf roper. I was scared to death to get off a horse. And I roped calves till after I was in high school and stuff. But that was what we focused on forever. And I always shoot dogged whenever I was little. I mean, from little, shoot dogging and all kinds of stuff. Whenever it came time to run steers off a horseback, I was always super timid. Like, my dad even told me one day, he said, boys, if you don't get off this damn horse, you can go shopping with the women if you don't want to bulldog, And so I'm like, gosh, dang. And I wound up jumping my first steer. I was like either 14 or 15 years old. But dude, I'd done the dummies and stuff so much whenever I was little and everything. The first year I run, I was probably 5 seconds or so, and just made a sure enough good bulldogging run, which is not something that you do in the bulldogging. Normally it's a crash, and then kids kind of gets to where they're liking it and stuff. They're having fun. But I had a just great run, and it's been pretty dang smooth ever since. And I roped calves and stuff with the bulldogging all the way up to then the high school. And on the way home to the high school finals, my dad had actually went out and bought me a really good horse my last couple of years in high school for calf roping. I mean, I was having a lot of success, having fun, doing good, and was on the way home to the high school finals. And I told Dad, I said, man, I said, you put all that money in that calf horse. I said, you think if we sell that calf horse, we can pick up a couple more bulldogging horses? And I thought this guy was going to cry. He was so happy. I mean, he's helped me out with everything in the world, but he was by all means bulldogging first. So whenever we got to get rid of the calf horse, he was pumped up.
So he was bulldogging all the way, and he bought into the calf roping because you were wanting to at that time in your life. But
my dad has done whatever it takes for me and my sisters, whatever we want to do. He was all hands on deck. He would come in from work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd have the arena drug, steer spin, and everything. He wouldn't go inside and get a glass of water. He wouldn't do any of that kind of stuff. He walked straight to the practice pen, and he's with us all night long until we wanted to put everything up. He's whatever we wanted to do, he was all for it. But the bulldogging was by far his favorite part of it.
Really?
Did you have an initial knack? You said you didn't want to get off the horse, but tell me about the process of getting off the horse, learning to become better in those early stages of the sport.
Dude, whenever I was in junior high, they used to have the shoot dogging was the event over there, and I practiced all week long and in both of my events. And I'm trying so hard, to get points and make it to the finals and all this kind of stuff. But whenever I was little, I graduated high school at 145 pounds. I was a little bitty guy. And so all the times we're at the junior events and everything, my dad would make me jump to the steers, slide them out, get all their nose, throw them down. Well, all the bigger kids would just walk to the line, tip them over. Well, they're getting all the points. They're high up in the standings and everything. I can remember going home from the junior rodeos just upset. Like, Dad, why can't I do it like they're doing? Why can't I do it like they're doing? They're getting all the points. And he would keep on saying, just keep doing it right, all this, that, and other. Finally, I worked up the nerve to get off a horse, and then we jump into the high school rodeo and stuff. And all these big old kids that just pulled on the steers and laid them over and stuff like that. Once we had to run them off a horse, I was just so far ahead of everybody else. I mean, I was like a man amongst boys by that time. And so then all through high school, we're sitting there. I mean, I won the high school 3 of the 4 years that I was in it. I won my senior year, which I'm pretty proud of. I had 3 horses at the time, and I always told my dad I want to win the average at the high school finals on 3 different horses. I win the first round on one of my senior year, and luckily the high school finals in my hometown. And so the next day we're loading up horses. We're heading back for the second round, and Dad sits there, looks at me, he said, man, he said, you always talk about riding all three horses. He said, I should have just went ahead and let you bring a different horse, and ride another one. I said, Dad, that little sorrel was out in the pasture. The black's on the trailer. Let's just go. We went to the rodeo, and we wound up winning the average with 3 different horses there. But back to your question, though, like high school, whenever we started getting off a horse, just all the time that me and my dad put into it and stuff like that, the fundamentals and stuff like that, we were so far ahead. Most guys don't start focusing on steer wrestling until they get older and decide that's the event they want to do. Because, it's a pretty physical event. Most kids in high school are doing it for the points. Most kids are doing it, the calf roping in high school or team roping in high school. They've been doing it since they were little, and they've been gung-ho focusing on it. Bulldogging is kind of something, I think Matt said it to you guys a while back, that's something that if you're into the physicalness of it and willing to put in the time for it, that's whenever you kind of shine on that.
So did you said you were way head and shoulders above everybody else because your fundamentals. Did your dad teach you all those good fundamentals and never give you bad habits, or took you places, or both, or how'd you get those good fundamentals?
My dad gets 1,000% of the credit for making me the way I am. We went to a lot of different schools. My dad is open to, hey, whoever wants to be willing to help, anything like that. We can learn from everybody. I love having young kids come to the house right now because I learn from them. We went to, my dad would help out at Tom Carney's bulldogging school. He's a guy that's helped. So everybody that bulldogs from Louisiana or even from down south Tom Carney's had something to do with it. He's so great with helping out all the kids with the fundamentals and all that kinds of stuff. My dad was the same way. It was slow down, make sure you're doing it right each time. My dad was a circuit cowboy back in the day, and he was little bitty. My dad, he's probably 5'9" or so right now.
Yeah, he's
never weighed
smaller.
over 200 pounds in his life. And he's made our circuit finals. Is about the highest stage that my dad has been on. But growing up, I didn't know that he wasn't Steve Duhon or O'Berry. This guy's in the practice pen. I'm watching him work as I'm a little kid, and he comes over to the side. He's helping me. So whatever he says, that's the rule. That's what I got to do. And I think with my dad being such a smaller person and helping me out as being a smaller person, we had to do each one of the fundamentals. There was no corners we could cut. And so doing that for so long, I think that's what just got us to where it's so pounded in my head now that you can't make mistakes, or you don't make as many mistakes.
Exactly. Just size, whether I think calf rope and bulldog and whatever it is, just size isn't going to do it. You got to have fundamentals. So you had that good foundation. And then when you get bigger, stronger, older, more physical, then those good fundamentals plus your size is what made you maybe the greatest ever.
Man, I will never say that. People say that about us all the time. I've got so many of my heroes out there. Like I say, Luke and I both have 5 gold buckles, and I called Luke after the American this year. I called him. I said, hey, dude, I just want to let you know. I said, at your age, to be able to come out and do what you did out there, so you're still my dang hero. Luke was the guy I looked up to all whenever I was growing up. If I can surpass him with gold buckles, it doesn't necessarily make me a greater bulldogger. That means I just won a couple more times. Yeah. Like I say, there's so many great bulldoggers out there. Him, Oakberry, Steve Duhon, Roy Duval. I'll never myself say that I'm the best ever. If someone has that opinion, I'm pumped up about it. That's awesome. But in my mind, all my heroes are still what I look up to, and I hope that in return they're proud of me. Oakberry has been one of my biggest supporters, biggest heroes, and he calls me all the time telling me great job. And that goes so much further to me to just know that I pretty much have his respect as far as a competitor and stuff like that. I've never got to compete against him except for the first American. He and I rode the same horse at the first American rodeo they had. It was the last year he ran, and we was riding the same horse over there. He was hauling me around as a dang kid. But like I say, one of my heroes to be able to tell me how good I'm doing, that's what kind of makes me happy the most.
That's pretty awesome. Oat has a big part to do with bulldogging in the youth and kind of growing the sport. Is that something you're kind of involved with and interested in? You said you get kids that come over and you love having kids come bulldog, but it's not near the biggest sport in rodeo. It's very interesting, entertaining, and I'm a fan of it. But we know from the ground up, junior high school, and professional, it's not big in numbers. Oat has a big part to do with growing the sport. What's your thoughts on that?
Our sport is finally going in the right direction. Oat's going to get a lot of credit for it. I said this jokingly with some of my buddies, I hate giving guys credit for things that they're doing, but dang, that's pretty cool to watch. Just things that are out there. And Oat is a guy that's doing the same thing. He's making a platform for kids. Whenever you were growing up, Ty, you was going to all kinds of junior calf ropings, just all kind of opportunities for you to go out and have success. Whenever I first started and I went through high school rodeo, and whenever I came out of high school rodeo, it's, hey, kid, go beat Luke Branquino if you want to win. well, holy crap, that's a big jump. Whereas
no middle ground right there.
Yeah, there's no filter system for kids to. I mean, in any event, you got to have success to keep going. There's not very many people that's going to go out and get beat year after year after year after year, and then decide, hey, I want to keep doing this. I mean, that's just crazy talk. But whenever you have opportunities where you can have a little win here, a little win there, your confidence starts building up. Well, that makes you want to get to the next level, and to have a platform for the kids like Oates trying to give them. I mean, you got. Kids in the steer wrestling are by no means winning what any of the kids in the roping are winning. But these kids are getting to go home, put on a lot of time, a lot of hard work in the practice pen, and at the end of the year, they have opportunities to go places to give them some success. And I mean, that I think is what's going to help our event out, is that there's more kids nowadays that are steer wrestling than there was whenever I was, for dang sure. And I mean, because like I say, you had to either go out there and beat Luke, or now you can go out there and you can beat all the other kids your age, and there's a bunch of them now because there's opportunity for them.
Yeah, exactly.
What year was your rookie year?
My rookie year is 2012.
So 2011, 2010, who you're coming in, who are the guys in the sport? Who's, give us a flashback to that time.
All right. I could all through high school was right before my rookie year and stuff. And I can remember watching, the Luke Branquinos, the Hunter Cure, Matt Reeves, Trevor Knowles, just tons of great guys. And I was able to rodeo with those guys my first couple years. I mean, man, I've had so much success in this sport. This sport's blessed me so much. My first 3 years rodeo, and you wouldn't have had a clue who the heck I was. I got out here. I got my butt kicked. I learned the hard way what to do. I mean, like I say, it was a grind those first 3 years. And then whenever I finally broke through and made the finals in 15, and I'm there, that's one of the coolest accomplishments I have. Like I say, Luke was there that year. Trevor Knowles was there. Hunter Cure, all these fantastic guys that I've watched growing up. I got to compete with those guys at the top level. And that was whenever the switch was flipped. I've got the confidence now. I know I belong here. And then we've been just having tons of success ever since. But yeah, the guys that I grew up watching and idolizing and wanting to be like, I do have 1 year under my belt where, dang, I made it there with all those guys.
What were those lessons? I mean, you're getting initiated. We're talking about a couple things, a couple rules before we start reporting that bulldoggers have. But what was that initiation period like?
So many guys, there, so many rookies, and I hope a lot of kids in any event are listening to this. Whenever you come to this level of rodeo, don't come here and think that you have to do something out of the ordinary that you don't do in the practice pen every day. That's the biggest problem that I think younger guys have. You come out here and you watch Luke Branquino go be 3.5, or you go watch, Ty Harris go be 7.5 in the calf rope and stuff like that. And you think, oh my God, I got to cut this corner, and this corner to beat him. Whenever if you go out, hit the barrier, you make your run on the animal that you have, and you've got the mid-7 calf, or you've got the 3.5 steer or something like that, you're going to get your opportunity to win. So many kids, they just jump the gun, they tear the barrier down, they make mistakes they shouldn't make because they get out of their element thinking they got to do something out of the ordinary to win. This is a simple game out here. It really is. The guy that makes the least amount of mistakes, I don't know about every other event, but I'm going to say for the most part, the guy that makes the least amount of mistakes throughout the year is the guy that wins the most by the end of the time. Mistakes is what kills everybody. And so many people jump out. They think they got to cut corners and go fast. That's not the case. Slow down. Smooth beats fast every day.
So first few years, what was it was only mental differences in you, and then that year that you made the NFR? I mean, 2012 to 2015, was the horses, the middle game, or all of it? What was the difference?
Horses had a lot to do with it. The guys that you travel with have a lot to do with it. Like I say, you can only be as fundamentally correct as you can possibly be. But then if you don't have the confidence going out there, if you don't have the guys that are traveling with you, pushing you to do better, I mean, that's all things that are going to hold you back. My first couple of years, I'll admit, I came out my first year, I had probably the best horse I've ever had in my life. I was a rookie that year, and I didn't know what I had whenever I had it. I'm that kid that's going out there. I mean, I bet I broke $30,000 worth of barriers over the fourth my first year. I broke out to win Cody, St. Paul, Livingston, and Red Lodge all in 1 week. Broke the barrier to win first at them. If I missed the barrier 6 inches, I'm still going to place at every one of them and fill my pockets up. But like I say, I'm thinking that I got to do something out of the ordinary. As the years went on, I start getting in with good hauling partners, good horsepower, good hazing, stuff like that. And now all the stuff's kind of starting to slow down, and the success is coming in, and then you just kind of stick there. But like I say, so many people try to force it with necessarily the wrong horse, the wrong traveling partners, and the wrong attitude. I mean, like I say, once you get on the right confidence level, then you're ready to take off.
What do you do? So you said a hazer. Is there how many times can a hazer make a mistake before you're like, no more?
Man, all right, I'll tell you this. Every time that if you're ever watching the steer wrestling and you hear everybody say, man, that guy did a great job, what a fantastic haze, that guy messed up, about a half a second before that.
Yeah.
If a hazer makes a great haze, he's like the center on the football team. Nobody notices him.
Gotcha.
If a hazer makes a haze and everybody's like, oh my God, that guy did such a fantastic job. That cat was late, or that he broke wide, or, he broke into the steer. He made a mistake prior to that. He had to come back and save the day.
Gotcha.
The
You
guy's
don't
like,
even want to know the hazer's there.
man, you never hear people say, ooh, wow, that Tyler Pearson made a great haze. You hear, man, hey, that guy made a great run because Tyler Pearson hazed the steer.
Yeah.
That guy, like I say, the horses that he rides and stuff like that, I mean, he putting everything in their office. You don't see him make mistakes. They do, but it's so minute you don't see them. Kyle Irwin's, Clayton Hass, all the Remy Parrott, just these guys, you don't ever hear them say, oh my God, he made a wonderful haze. You hear him say he's a great hazer.
Right.
So you don't notice him.
You would think it'd be easy to haze, but at the same time, when you watch Center Far, you have the same guys hazing over and over because y'all trust them.
Yes.
How hard is it to haze?
Dude, I've got 5 gold buckles. You'll never see me haze at Thomas and Mack. I don't get picked to haze. I mean, I will fall off trying, but it's just I'm not as sharp as guys are on that side. I focus my entire life on the bulldogging side. The hazing, I mean, if you back in the box in the bulldogging, I've got my entry fees up, and I'm trusting you to do a great job. You back in the box on the hazing side, that guy over there's got his entry fees up, and he's trusting me. Well, that's so much more pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it hard for people. I mean, those guys, I mean, like I say, there's so many good hazers. I mean, Riley Duvall's another one. I should have named him earlier. They're just fantastic guys, but I don't want to live with the pressure those guys got. I trust them with my life whenever I'm back in the box because I know they're going to do the best job humanly possible. But that's so much extra pressure on those guys because, I mean, you're back in the box. All they can do is, the only way they profit is if you win. They don't lose nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of pressure to be sitting on you.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you about our presenting sponsor, Boot Barn.
Hey, Cole, you headed to Pinoca in a couple weeks. Where are you going to go first?
Before I cross that border, we got to stop at Boot Barn, baby.
Boot Barn sponsors over 600 rodeos across the country. If you're a Let's Freakin' Rodeo fan and you're listening to this podcast, you probably should be a Boot Barn fan. I'm just telling you. They got 450 locations across the country from coast to coast.
They are supporting this podcast. They're supporting the rodeo industry. We support those people who support us, and that's Boot Barn.
I'm just telling you, you need some boots, some jeans, maybe a belt, shades, hat, cap, shirt, long sleeve, short sleeve. I don't care what kind of style you are. Cole, me, or anything in between. Go to Boot Barn or visit bootbarn.com online and get what you need. They got you covered from head to toe.
Thanks, Boot Barn, for sponsoring this podcast. As always, let's get back to it. Is there a specific way you like to have someone haze for you?
Man, not necessarily. And I kind of credit that back to my dad. Whenever I was little, we bulldogged on, dude, if we could get a saddle on the dog, we'd jump a steer off of him. Like anything we could possibly have to run steers on, that's what we ran steers on. I had them slow, fast, duck left, cut you off, all that kinds of stuff. And so, I mean, just like any other event, I mean, if not necessarily how you like them, but I know how to catch one over here. I know how to catch one over there and stuff like that. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're still riding animals trying to catch another animal. They're never going to do the same thing. You can never line one up exactly the same as the one before. They're all so much different. So, I mean, I want a guy that's going to be trustworthy, that's going to be out there. And the hazer has to beat the bulldogger out is another thing. So I want a guy that's going to be out there ahead of me and just blocking the steer off. Let me come in and make the mistake. You just hold him still.
Gotcha. You don't want somebody coming in there trying to do something crazy. You want them just to hold the steer.
A lot of hazers, they do too much. And that's, like I say, that's why I go back to guys like Tyler Pearson, Kyle Irwin, and stuff like that. They never do too much. They're going to get out there. They're going to hold the steer. They're going to let you come in and do your job. Gotcha. And that's what makes them so great. And the horses that they ride, like the gray horse that Tyler Pearson had, Metallica, how that guy made that horse so amazing. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can get on that horse, turn around backwards, drop the reins, and just let the horse go. He's going to do his job. Like, it's unreal how much time goes into that. And a great hazing horse, I mean, you'll probably heard it before. A great hazing horse makes a bulldog horse.
Mm-hmm. What's the success rate of hazing? Like, how often can it go wrong? I mean, is it like 90% of the time they're doing it good? Man,
for the most part, the hazing is like, especially out here, you've got, and like you guys said, there's 4 or 5 guys you see doing most of the hazing. Several guys in there made 6 or 7 hazes this morning here at Nampa, Idaho. There was some hazes missed. I'm not going to say that it's the guy's fault. A lot of cattle are going to leave. They're going to come hard left. If you're just a skosh off the line, they're going to continue coming. So, I mean, there's still, like I had the slack this morning, I bet there was 5 or 6, I'm not going to say bad hazes, but steers that damn sure tried on the hazer and was allowing guys to not have the run they wanted to have.
Bulldog and steers. So here, have they been to a bunch of rodeos yet? Because I know a lot of times y'all bulldog them forever.
Well, we have to. The bulldog and steers can make it one full calendar year right now, and we're only allowed to run M-branded cattle, which means they come from Mexico. And right now, the Mexican border's closed down, so we're running steers at a lot of rodeos right now. They had to approve last year's cattle because we don't have the opportunity. We still gotta follow the rules by running Mexican cattle, but we don't have any new ones here, so we're kind of backed against the wall right now.
Why the Mexican cattle?
That's been what they've run forever. Mexican cattle are way more true, like a native longhorn or a corriente or something like that. They'll get way more sorry, way faster. If a Mexican does something on day 1, he's going to do the same thing on day 10. They're so much easier to get patterned. And so much more reliable and trustworthy. Now they do get sour, but not near about as fast as the natives do and stuff like that. So it's great for us to be able to run better quality of cattle. But right now, whenever we can't get any new quality of cattle in, now it's getting to where it's pretty hard on us.
Speaking of steers doing the same thing, what about that 2-second run the other day? Y'all went 2 on that same steer twice in 2 days.
Man, I got to thank that judge right there. Like I said, Jesse Brown made the best run on that steer, hands down. Jesse running the night before me, Jesse exploded the barrier. Whenever his feet hit, that steer's tail cracked going down the pin, and it was legitimate 2-9. We go into the office the next day, and everybody's just anticipating what you're going to draw, this, that, and other. Well, I wound up drawing him. Everybody knows that I have that steer, and like I say, the flag judge, if you're back in the box and you're saying, oh, man, this guy was 2-9 on the steer earlier today.
And now there's 5-time world champion Wag
gold buckles. He's fixing to run him. I mean, you're on your toes. You know what I'm saying?
You're ready.
I mean, you don't want to be the guy that holds the flag up on a steer like that. Like I say, I was super proud at the time. But I'm like I say, I think I'm 3 flat. I think Jesse had the record on that steer. I had the faster time on the board. I think the better run was by all means Jesse Brown right there.
Gotcha.
But still, everything happened super fast, super fun. Like I say,
fun. Was that your own? How many times have you been to?
I've been to twice.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Where else?
In a jackpot on a green horse before. Gotcha. Yeah, I had a guy come up and asked to match, and because we're on a green horse, this was before I'd ever made the finals or anything like that. And we said, heck yeah, we'll go ahead and match after this. We have one more round to go, and I'm 2-9 on the steer. They come back, they didn't match after that. They thought the green horse was going to be something easy to beat. They didn't want to play it anymore.
What's the record in the Thomas and Mack?
3 flat. The only bulldog and steer I'll ever buy in my life is that if I can be the first guy to throw one into.
You never bought a bulldog and steer?
I have bought one. I bought one the steer that I won the American on.
Gotcha.
I bought that steer because as of right now, you can't win more than 100,000 in one day or $1 million in one day. The American's the biggest payout that we have right now. So I bought that steer whenever I won it in 2023. The only other one that I'll ever buy is if I'll be the first one to throw one in 2-9. Gotcha. And we was talking about it last night driving over here because everybody's saying, rodeos you want to win, all that kind of stuff, or goals that you have for yourself. I want to be the first one to throw one in 2-9. If I throw one in 2-8 that somebody the very guy before was 2-9, I will be livid. I don't care if I got the arena record. I want to be the first one to throw him at 2.
You want to be the first guy to be 2 seconds at the Thomas and Mack?
Yeah, that's one of my big goals that I've had.
Guys, you heard it here first.
Where are you shaving that time? I mean, is it all start? I mean, it's tenths of a second.
No, it's the start. It's how your feet hit, and you got to have a good dancing partner. You're not going to take a steer that is a commonly used 5-second steer and throw him in 3. It's not going to happen. That's another thing about our event. There's a lot of variables in the steer wrestling, but the draw is so important. You can take, anybody in the world, or not anybody in the world, but anybody that steer wrestles and draw. There's a black steer in here, flat horn. They were 3-6 and 3-8 on him. Ty, if I can convince you to get off a horse, you can be 4 flat or faster on him. Like right. It's that easy. Mm-hmm. Just a steer that's that good. Yeah. Whereas the steers that you can go out there and be 4-5 to 5 flat on or so, that's where the guys are winning the money at, because they're always on the quicker side on those steers. Win those last holes. That's the guys that are consistently on top.
That's where you separate yourself, or the top guys separate themselves from the rest.
That's where
the middle of the herd kind of steers.
Yes, your guys that can go out there and place on the middle of the herd are the guys that are going to the finals every year. And like I say, 10 of them at the beginning of every year. You're saying, oh yeah, this guy, he started off, he's having good success, he's making those runs on those cattle, he's going. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's what's separating the middle guys from the top tier guys.
Gotcha.
I mean, this is oversimplification, but you and the guys that just look more athletic, more ferocious, more like Matt Reeves said, you got to love contact. It's a physical sport. Running them down there in the middle of the pin is just athleticism, it seems like.
Man, it's a lot of athleticism. I mean, if you looked at me the first years I was making the finals, you'd say, heck yes, athlete. I got a pot belly right now. I'm getting old. but my fundamentals are still there, so I can still making all the right moves. But yes, that a lot of athleticism in it, and it's guys that are getting themselves out of binds. Like as far as if you miss the inside horn, but my feet are hitting good, so I'm still salvaging the run and making those runs. So many guys, if they make one mistake leads into another. Whereas the guys that are at the top, if they make one mistake, their next move is going to counteract that, and they're right back to making their good run.
I tell people all the time, like Riley Webb can make a mistake in his run, and you almost barely even see it because it's just like, it's not that he makes that many perfect runs. It's just when kids threw a bobble so smoothly that you can barely tell. I bet I don't even see a lot of your mistakes on your bulldogging runs because I don't have the eye for it.
Yeah.
Because you just recover so fast and just so smooth.
Exactly. The true winners are, and they're not going to let a mistake beat them down. You know what I'm saying? If they're going to make a mistake, they're going to clean everything up. They're going to get through it. They're going to salvage those runs. And that's where I say, whenever we're going out there and we're being that mid 4-second run, we don't necessarily have the steer to win first on, but I mean, you win fifth at a rodeo like Nampa, Idaho. I mean, you're still going to win $6,000-8,000, you know? I mean, you got to keep making those runs or keep getting through those runs with as few mistakes as possible.
Exactly.
Do you think that the steer wrestlers are the tightest brotherhood among the disciplines?
By far. The funniest thing that I seen this morning, I turned around and looked at Kyle Irwin and I laughed because they're doing all the trades and stuff for over here in Nampa. Everybody's got to go and trade to see when they get their second one. We've all got our schedule, so we're moving stuff around. Yeah. And I laughed whenever we was going in the arena because all the team ropers were standing right there. I said, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and watch these son of guns argue about trades.
Dude.
All the bulldoggers, we've been talking all week long because we know this is coming up. So guys are saying, hey, I could use this day, I could use that day. We've already talked to everybody to help each other out. That way everybody gets to run a steer. I mean, it's...
Well, I mean, this is probably going to be controversial. People probably aren't going to like it, but there's some calf ropers here that could definitely help other people out, and they're not. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't cost you anything, and you're going to make somebody have to be in a bind or make an all-night drive or get turned out when, I don't know. It's just...
But just for calf ropers out there, we've never paid fees. We've never paid for a trade, none of that kind of stuff.
Never.
I've never in my life paid for a trade.
Bulldoggers don't have to pay for trades.
Always been like that.
Man, if I need a trade somewhere and I cannot get somewhere, and I call Ty Erickson and his group, hey guys, do y'all have anywhere to go on this day? It may mean that these guys got to travel an extra 100 miles.
Yeah,
they're hands down with no problem. Hey, dude, we're not nowhere that day. Let us help you out because in 2 or 3 weeks from now, their group's going to get fouled up.
Exactly,
and we're going to be 6 hours away. But hey, you know what? We don't have nothing to do. You guys help. Y'all bent over backwards for us last week. Helped us out. We got you. No problem. Yep. You guys take that run. We'll trade you out. Everybody gets to run their steers.
Yeah.
You're going to need somebody way more. But I mean, you got to keep helping everybody.
There's only so many guys. It's a small pool that we're in right here. You're going to need help from that guy down the road, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 years.
Absolutely. Like I said, the bulldoggers have always stuck together. We're always willing to help one another. I mean, you see a lot of us riding the same dang horses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I think that we're blessed to have the camaraderie that we have.
Yeah.
One person scratches one back, the other one scratches another. Everybody's helping each other out.
Yeah. Which, tell them the saying. I mean, how did it start?
Yeah, there was always the old saying. Everybody used to say, well, you can trade or you can doctor release, whichever one you want to do. And it's always just a big joke. And everybody just kind of laugh. They always get their trades done and stuff. And it's just kind of a big joke. Like, man, you don't trade me, you're going to get your butt whooped, you know? But
speaking of,
nobody does that.
You're all freaking 6'5".
Everybody thinks that we're all big, burly, and tough. Every one of the bulldoggers, they're great people, willing to help everybody out and happy to be around all the time.
Speaking of doctor release, was that the worst injury you've had in your career last year with torn bicep, correct?
Man, I tore my bicep in this past year. I tore my pec in 2013.
Gotcha.
I was in the top 10 in the world in 2013. That was kind of first year that I was really having some success and looking good for making it. And I tore my bicep at Oklahoma City. That was where the Dodge Finals was at that time.
Tore your pec that time right in 13?
I tore my pec in 13, tore my bicep this past year, yeah.
Gotcha. And where were you at last year when you tore your bicep?
I was at Sisters, Oregon. It was this past week last year.
So June, second week of June, you come back like within 60 days, I think.
Rock. I run my first steer at Idaho Falls 6 weeks after surgery. I was 3-4-1 rodeo.
You had to rush. You rushed back, surely. I mean,
I was supposed to be back December 1st. I came back August 1st.
Yeah, what? Yeah. What even? I mean, what?
Man, the only way I'm going to break the record for most consistent NFRs is make the NFR.
You got to make it. I mean,
what did you do?
What's the record for most consecutive?
Most consecutive is 21, Roy Duval. Most ever is 24, Roy Duval. He missed 1 year.
Wow.
Yep.
Are you bracing your bicep, or you just it was it was healed enough, so you're fine?
I was braced up, taped up. I mean, it could have popped at any given time.
Wow.
I had to start entering rodeos 3 weeks prior to being able to run a steer because I had to just put my name down everywhere I could. I was going to have 60 days left. And I mean, whenever it happened, I had like 35,000 or something like that. And we're all thinking it's going to take 95 to make the finals. And I can remember talking to my dad on the phone. I said, if I can get back August 1st, I've got 60 days to average $1,000 a day and make 60 grand. I got back 60 days. I made 61,000. I made the finals by 2 grand. I mean, just nailed it.
It's wild. It's
probably
wild.
One of your best accomplishments in my mind. I mean, that's freaking cool.
I was super proud of getting healed up like that. My poor horse Cheese, he got drugged his guts through last summer. I mean, he stayed strong for me all year. I had to send him all kinds of places. Sam Dixon was driving the Sorrelmare Baby around to different places that I was flying in to get to. I mean, I had a big group helping me get there, but I mean, golly, we put them horses through some stuff that I don't ever want to have to do to them again.
Yeah, exactly. Usually, end of the summer, you're kind of cruising, maybe going home. Man, I've seen you some years before.
I've went home 3 different years at Cheyenne during Cheyenne week.
Yeah.
A goal I had, that was in 2017. Erwin asked me, he said, man, I was in the truck with him. He said, what's your goals? Hell, dude, so I'm make 100,000 by Cheyenne. I'm going home. And Cheyenne rolls around. I had 101 grand. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting on a plane. I said, I'll see y'all later. I went to the house. I did not go to Puyallup that year. I turned out of Puyallup either 3 or 4 times, never entered it. Have been the high guy in the tour standings 2 or 3 times. Didn't go to Puyallup. None of them.
What year was that?
That was 17 was that year. And 2022, I was high guy in I was hell's number 1 in the world and went home. I like being home. And
in July in Louisiana, it's hot.
It is hot, but it's still home. And I shouldn't do it. My wife gets mad at me every time I keep saying I want to go home, because I do. I love being home. But I mean, as a competitor, I need to stay out here longer. Last year definitely showed me that, because I mean, I didn't go hardly anywhere in the wintertime. I said, heck, I'm going to stay. Last year, my deal was I'm going to stay out and go all summer because the Northwest paying so much nowadays. Mm-hmm. I said, heck, I'll just rodeo hard during those months, make the finals. This is all going to be good, and it about bit me right there. So, I mean, so now kind of got to watch out for that.
Exactly.
Could I ask you too, 2017, 2022, did you, I know you're 5-time world champ, but I don't know the years exactly. Did you win those years?
I won 2022, did not win 2017. Tyler Pearson won 2017.
So
had a good finals each year, but like you say, yeah, not now. Each year that somebody else won the world, they won more money than everybody else. They should have absolutely done it. It's so easy to look back and say, man, I should have did this. I should have did that. Hey, those guys won the world that year. I should have did better. And that's just stuff that I got to look back and learn at. And like I say, there's not ever going to be a time that you're going to hear me say that I should have won the world. I'm supposed to win the world. I'm supposed to be successful and all that kinds of stuff. Every time that I don't win, that's 100% on me. And that just makes me learn for the next year.
Dude, Herbert Terrio was cracking me up the other day. I was talking to him on the phone, and he says, hell, I wish I could talk like him, but he said, man, I heard him saying that he gave that gold buckle away. I ain't never heard nobody giving something away that wasn't theirs. I think that kind of hit home with me. I was like, you're right. You can't give nothing away unless it's not yours. I mean,
hey, man, look, whenever we go every October, everybody buys their card. Everybody can go to the same amount of rodeos. Whoever wins the most money at the end of the year is the world champion. And props to them, because, I know what it takes to win one. I mean, much less as many of them that I do have. I mean, it's hard work. It's dedication. You got to stick out here and stick with it. Whenever I have those years where I say, man, I'm so excited about going home. I got enough money to make the finals. We're all good. And I get relaxed like that. That's shame on me. That's whenever these guys, there's so many hungry guys right behind you. They're going to kick your butt.
Yep.
I mean, you can be at the top of your game out here in the CRS and you're still going to get your butt kicked.
Yep.
That is.
Well, you didn't say, but last year you said he made about 2,000, but it came down to the last run of the season at your last rodeo, correct?
Man, I went Stephenville, Texas, Mona, Utah, San Bernardino, California, and Poway was the last week. I had all 4 rodeos. A lot of guys that are on the bubble at that time, you're out of rodeos. They've only got 1 or 2 of them left. I've got 4 of them left. Mentored at all of them. My aunt, in fact, she drove me to Stephenville. I had Sam Dixon brought baby over there. Talon Roseland left 2 days prior to that and drove horses to Mona, Utah. And he's sitting there for me, picks me up from the plane. We run a steer there. I mean, Talon, heck, he drove 4 straight days. I don't know if the guy slept any at all.
Wow.
Just taking care of horses. I mean, he's still bulldogging and everything, but I told him when it was the last 2 weeks left, I said, dude, I said, I'll pay you to come drive. I said, enter you at the rodeos, ride the horse, haze for me. I said, whatever it takes to just get me there. And he drove just about the entire way. I had my uncle with me, Justin Walker, he's sitting there and he told me he wasn't driving. All he'd do is just sit there and be the DJ on the radio. So he kept Talon awake the whole time while I'm in the back sleeping, just trying to get this last week done. And I placed at 3 of the 4 rodeos. I placed at Stephenville, Poway, and San Bernardino. And I run a steer at Mona, Utah that he dang sure could not read what was on my buckle because I'm telling you, stomped me on my head. I got up. I had both hands on my hat trying to get my hat off my head that somebody stomped on me.
He stomped you.
Oh, it was bad.
So the week before that, I'm literally getting chills thinking about the run 3.4 seconds at Mandan, North Dakota.
Man, me and Cash Robb, which Cash, that's his first time making the NFR. He should have made it the year before that. He blew his knee out. One of the last, I think he was second high call at Ellensburg and blew his knee out the night before at Filer, Idaho. But this is going to be his first time to make the finals. And me and him both, we got a place there. Like that's going to be a good place where we could just kind of clean it up and get it done. And I've got to win first to have enough money. By how the payouts was, the increments was, I had to win first to get enough money won.
To have a chance, right?
To have a chance, yes. And Cash runs out there. He's 3'8". And I can remember this kid just how happy he was. He's got it made. And everybody's so pumped up. I'm high-fiving him. Heck yeah. He hops on the Hayes horse and he's, just excited. And I can remember grabbing him by the shirt. I said, you got it made. Now get my ass there. I said, Hayes the son of a bitch.
Because he hazed right after.
He hazed for me like 4 guys after he had run, and he just spanked one 3-8. And he comes back, and we got a little black steer that we don't know very much about. Steer's first step is, sideways to Cash, and you can hear the announcer saying, "Oh, what a haze!" Cash runs in there, and clips him, about has him thrown whenever I catch him. We're 3-4 and went first. But yeah, I can remember grabbing Cash like, "Hey, all right, pay attention, man." So we'll get back to celebrating in a minute.
Dude, I turn the Cowboy Channel on usually about when the calf roping's going to start and to watch the rodeos. Me and him that day, I was like, "Dude, Wags up there in the Bulldog and got to win first." And we're watching that.
We knew it was going to come down to that.
Dude,
2 weeks.
I thrive over pressure. Like my favorite run in the NFR is 2023. Whenever they put up, the 4 guys that's going for the gold buckle and stuff like that, they put them on the big screen and stuff like that. And I can remember watching it the night before. I'm not even on there, and I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm doing all the math in my head. I'm like, no. I said, how everything can work out. And the Nick guy missed a steer in the round in the 10th round. And the way the average pays out, it moves me up. And the average payouts, they're bigger checks at the beginning, and then the increments get a little bigger, they get tighter and tighter.
Mm-hmm.
So by somebody falling out, you're actually gaining more ground.
Right.
And whenever Nick fell out, it has me getting a big check now instead of just an okay check.
Uh-huh.
And it gives me enough room where if I can go out there and win the round, or if I am winning the round, it causes Dalton Massey to go out there and be top 4 in the round now.
Yes.
I had a steer that sure enough hauled butt. He was good steer, but gonna run. And I annihilated the barrier 3-8, and I'm winning first. Well, now, I backed in the box with a ton of pressure on me, but then again, also nothing to lose. I backed in the box and a chance to win the gold buckle, go win the round. It was great. We winning first, perfect, and now all the pressure goes on to the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily for me, I was able to have success that day, but it could have very easily went the other dang way.
Right.
But I love being in situations like that where you back in the box and it's do or die.
Yeah.
That's the ones I always feel like you show up on.
Would you rather, right now, if I had to say run 1 in the 10th round, have to be 4 flat or 9 flat? What would you feel more comfortable with?
2-9 than be 9 flat.
Yeah. I would imagine.
I do not want to have to
especially in that arena.
I do not want to have to go and throw one down. Who practices to go miss the barrier, go down here, ask for directions on how to throw him down and lay him over? No, we practice on being sharp at the start, making the best run we can possibly. So don't give me all that extra room. Let me go out there and do what I've been practicing this whole time. I want to be 3 instead of being 9.
Yeah.
All right, guys, another weekly segment coming at y'all of Rodeo for Dummies presented by Shady Rays. Our friends over at Shady Rays have you covered for all your premium polarized shades needs. If you need some nice shades, Shady Rays is the place to go.
Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized sunglasses that won't break the bank.
Shady Rays is a proudly independent sunglasses company that can rival even the most expensive brands.
It ain't always you get what you pay for, because with Shady Rays, they can rival anybody.
Affordable.
Double frames. Crystal clear optics, bro. And they're affordable. But if yours go MIA or they break, their lost and broken protection plan will take care of you for up to 30 days.
Exclusively for Let's Freakin' Rodeo listeners, you can use code LFR35 for 35% off at shadyrays.com.
You can join over 300,000 customers to leave a 5-star review.
Thanks, Shady Rays, for sponsoring Rodeo for Dummies. Let's get into it. What do you think is the most simplest overlooked thing in steer wrestling?
Simplest overlooked thing in steer wrestling is probably your balance. Everybody thinks that that whenever you catch a steer that we're pulling this steer and we're physically changing his direction. The steer weighs 600 pounds. There's no way I'm going to stop him from a dead run and pull him back this way. You're changing the steer's momentum. So your balance and your footwork is what controls that. And we're pretty much guiding a steer to the ground. And everybody thinks that we're physically these big old strong guys throwing them. I ain't that strong, but I'm like I'm saying, I may be a bigger guy, but I am not very strong. These guys that are changing their direction, changing their momentum, and that's why the athletes are putting themselves in good position to let the steer work for them.
So balance. If you had a 16-year-old bulldogger and he's struggling or whatever, you're going to tell him he needs to work on how he's balancing and using the steer's momentum. Quit fighting the steer. Use the steer's momentum and use your balance to control the steer.
Balance 100%, slow down, and trust the fundamentals. So many people in every event, they always want to go fast. This is a timed event, so you want to win first. Whenever you're in the practice pen, don't worry about winning first. Worry about doing it correct.
You got jabbed a couple times by a horn. How likely is it to get you don't get off right or your fundamentals mess up, you get jabbed by a horn?
I got too big of a belly to show you guys what I look like right now, but I've got scars all over me. Just looks like polka dots. Just
really?
A steer's either dragging a horn across and never puncturing you, but dang sure knock the skin off. Just scars all mostly on the left side. You're catching the inside horn. It's coming here, and it's a lot of pressure being put on you right here.
Crack some ribs, I'm sure.
A lot of guys do, yeah. Like I say, in our sport, the most injuries are knees, which that all goes back to balance. Whenever somebody gets a knee, they're hitting very, very wrong or having a mess up in the run. A good run does not hurt anybody. Knees are bad. You're going to have some rib problems and stuff just from steers stopping and stuff like that. And then pecs are real bad in our event.
Yeah.
But most of the accidents that happen in our event is more or less from mistake on our part.
Yeah. Since you brought up that 10th round run, though, I have to ask, and we can take it out if we want or whatever, but I do have to ask about that for that 10th round. It was on TV.
Yep.
We're back there. Media sees it. I see it, and I mean, it was freaking electric moment.
Everybody thinks that I'm yelling at Dalton Massey. Me and Dalton were so far away from each other, you couldn't see each other. Matt Reeves he's our director at the time, and he's standing at the box with the clipboard, and he's watching all the numbers and all that kind of stuff, and I'm steadily talking to him back and forth what we got to do. Whenever Nick fell out of the average that day, it changed everything. I mean, it got to where, hey, not only, because it was beforehand, I got to win the round, and then Dalton had to fall out of the average.
Yep.
Whenever Nick made the board move, now it's, hey, if I can go in the round, now he's got to do something in the round. Yep. I run that steer, and I'm winning first, and I can remember Will grabbed me, and we're walking down the alley. I mean, you've been to Thompson Mac, you're down the alleyway. You can't see the arena. You're back there.
Mm-hmm.
But the camera follows me, and it's got it on me. Will walks up and says, I'm going to go see what happens. Will is walking to it, and Dalton had already nodded. Dalton breaks the barrier. And Will turns around, doesn't say nothing about the run. I don't even know how fast Dalton was. Will turns around, looks at me, and goes, dude, he broke the barrier. And I said, shut the up. There's no way we did that. And Matt's holler, he said, you did it. I said, hell yeah. And I said, Matt, I said, you got to take back everything you said earlier about how it couldn't be done, because as the day played out, it made it to where it could.
Right.
Well, everybody's saying that I'm hollering at Dalton and saying, oh yeah, you got to take back what you said, this, that, and the other. We can't even see each other. I'm hollering at Matt.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And then the camera comes up and we're watching it that night. Everybody's calling us, man, why were y'all so mad? I'm like, me and Dalton have never had any crosswords in our entire lives. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they said, well, dang, on the TV, you're yelling at him. I said, no. I said, I'm yelling at Matt. Matt's over here.
Well, even if that's not true, everyone thinks you're freaking the biggest bad A now, talking all that crap.
Yeah, I was like, hell, we never said a crossword. I said, shit.
It worked out for you.
Yeah,
you're the legend of Tyler Wag.
I mean, I've just watched you from afar, but I was like, I've never seen that much emotion, and I was loving it.
I mean, were you right there?
I was right there, and I could tell you wasn't talking to Dalton. I didn't know what he was saying. I just knew he was saying, y'all didn't think I could do it. I did it. I freaking loved it.
Well, you back in the box in the 10th round. Every kid growing up wants that opportunity. I backed in the box in the 10th round with a slim chance to win the world and got it pulled off. I mean, you can't hold that emotion in. There's no way. I mean, that, like I said, that the 5th one was so much sweeter than the other ones because that was the hardest one. When I was so far back into the corner right there and come out swinging, and I connected. You know, I mean, that's just how it played out. But everybody's talking about, y'all are arguing, y'all are mad at one another. There's not been a bulldogger in the world mad at one another,
especially after they win a gold buckle. Yeah,
exactly. And the camera's killing us out there. They're making us. Oh, I say that all the time because, like, whenever we're over here in the Slack and stuff like that, we're joking around. We're making jokes at each other and this, that, and the other. I said, if a camera follows us around, they think we hate each other just because we're always just making these little jokes. Just
talking shit.
But everybody's laughing, cutting up. I mean, the atmosphere that the steer wrestlers have is so fun all the time. like I say, but somebody from the outside looking in, like, man, what's wrong with them? They're jerks, and we're all sitting there just laughing and bullcrap. It's funny.
Yeah.
So first off, you were probably in 2024 the most drafted. I would be shocked unless it was a family member of them drafting another steer wrestler because you came in 14th. They're thinking, oh, we got him on a bargain. All these fantasy team winners.
Yeah, they should have paid attention. I was crippled as hell.
But yeah,
they pulled me off an injured reserve, and y'all thought y'all got a deal. Golly,
but did you have heck a little bit?
Man, my first 5 rounds was horrible. I hit the barrier 2 out of the 5 rounds on the 2 worst steers that I had drawn. When I had good steers drawn, I was off the barrier. We made a bit change in round 5 and placed in 5 out of the last 5 rounds after that.
Uh-huh.
But I rode Baby there at the finals this year. Been so excited about riding that horse at the finals because she stands in the box like a rock, runs up their back, gives you her go every time. And she and I just came in there. We just kind of had the wrong setup whenever we got in there. By round, I hate that it took till round 5 till we finally figured it out. But we swapped a bit around, got everything back up, got her amped back up, and then we went to kicking butt after that. Mm-hmm. I'd love to have seen her if we had 10 rounds like that instead of just 5. Because out of the last 5 rounds, I come back and won $100,000 with just half the finals. Mm-hmm. I wish we could have done that with the first half.
Were you going in to that finals still thinking about it winning the world coming from that far down?
I wish I would have had that mentality, but it was, man, hey, we made the finals. I can come out here and I can make a crap ton of money. I made the finals this year. Looking back, I should have came in with the same hunger that I have every year, thinking that I come in every year thinking I'm supposed to be the guy on top. I come in this year, I've got my arm wrapped up, this, that, and the other. I'm happy to be there, and my fault 100%. I should have backed in the box thinking I'm still the guy on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that this rest of this year goes good and I get back to the Thomas and Mack because I know that I've got to come in with the mentality that I'm supposed to be the best one there. The other 14 guys, they got to have that attitude. If you want to win in that arena, you got to back in the box thinking there's nobody possible to make this run on this animal that you have. It's the only way that you can come out on top in that pen.
Wow. So you said if it goes good the rest of the summer, what are you sitting right now?
I want to say I'm maybe 4th right now. I've had a great winter. I haven't been to a ton of rodeos. I've been kind of picking and choosing where I've been going. And since I've been having success, I haven't been entering very hard. Like I say, just looking at the schedule and stuff, all these Northwest rodeos are adding so much money now, and you don't have any breaks in between whenever you're out there. You can run one just about every day, kind of getting a rhythm. The winter rodeos I don't really like as much. They're great rodeos, fantastic rodeos. They even pay better than everything else. But you run one this week, you come back, you run one next week. You can't really get your motor running. Mm-hmm. Whereas from here on out, me and Kyle Irwin was just talking, we get to run one every day for like the next 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
And then the 4th starts, then we're probably going to have 2 a day.
Exactly.
You can, if you get into a rhythm and get on a roll, then it's going to get fun and you just feed off of it. But I don't like the whole running one, wait 5 days, run another one and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Are you going through this all the way through the summer?
I'm hoping to go to the full 80 rodeos this year.
Especially how high you were last year.
This year, like I say, I've had a really good winter. I placed at a ton of rodeos, keeping my name up in the top 5 in the world standings pretty consistently all winter long. So getting everything ready, got the schedule done. I got the horses and everything going really good right now. So we're ready to go to probably about another 70 rodeos from here on out. So we'll be ready to rock and roll.
That's rank. So you said you like running them every day. But you also kind of earlier in your career went home early, went home during into July. What do you do to not get burnt out? And what's your thoughts at going into the summer to stay strong for the next 100 days?
Man, I just setting new goals for myself. Whenever I won the first gold buckle, but never whenever I ever started rodeo did I think I was going to be that guy to hold up a gold buckle at the end of the year. And then it just kind of made it real after 2015, whenever I qualified for the NFR. I was like, man, I do belong in this circle of higher end guys. And I won the world in 16, which by all means, fantastic. Won the world, rode a great horse the entire time. And I've got that one gold buckle. And, everybody in the world is like, man, that's awesome. That's great. And I'm so satisfied with that. I'm thinking, man, I can make the finals a couple more times. Everything's good. Rolls around 18, I win the world again. Well, now we've got 2. I'm still way away from ever being talked about as being the great or whatever. And then that 2021, 22, and 23, where I'm winning them back to back to back. I even told my dad, I said, it's getting to where it's so fun because everything's slowing down now. It's like I'm back in the box. I'm making the right decisions of what to run and this, that, and the other. And now that I've got 5, 6 is the record. It's right there. Well, now I told my wife, I said, now it's like I'm focused. I'm wanting to go now. I'm wanting to make sure that I finish off my year and make it. At those couple of years where I'm making the finals. We're having fun. It's all great. We got them made. I should have kept the mentality of, hey, we need to win every single time.
Mhm.
And I feel like I've got that now, and I'm ready to put gas on the fire to win
You
as
want
much as I
that
possibly
sixth.
can. I do. I mean, I won't ever say that I don't have a goal of mine. I mean, that is a goal of mine. I mean, I don't know if I can ever get it done, but six won't be enough. 7 has got to be where it's at. I don't want anybody's name next to mine.
You want
I
7.
don't know if I'll ever get it done. I mean, but I've got an opportunity to, so I want to do whatever it takes to try to get that.
I would put, there's safe investments, there's risky investments, real estate, you got stocks. I feel like Tyler Wag getting 7 could be a pretty safe investment if I was bet.
I appreciate that, but there's nobody that bulldogging right now is way tougher. I think it's getting tougher and tougher. The cattle are getting to where they're running harder. The horsepower is getting better. And just like you guys said earlier, there's so many athletes out there. Like, I mean, have you watched this Jesse Brown? Like this guy here,
yeah,
like, I don't want to foot race him. I don't want to wrestle him. I don't like, he's your first pick on like, if you had a PE session in high school, that kid's getting picked
football,
first.
soccer.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's crazy good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's placed at every dang rodeo he's been to. I think he won the round this morning, I mean, you got guys like that. JD Struxness. I mean, this guy's just a freaking animal. I mean,
Dog.
State champion wrestler, this, that, and other. Cash Rob. All these guys are just tremendous athletes and have success in other things nowadays. I mean, it's not your cowboys going out there bulldogging no more. You got rodeo athletes getting on freaking race horses, and I mean, stuff's happening. So it's getting tougher and tougher to win, or tougher to stay at top.
Yeah.
Dalton Massey too, didn't he? I think he come in season leader last two years maybe or something.
The last 2 years, yes. And we go up to Hermiston, Oregon, and you go to the gym to work out, and I think Dalton must live there. Every time you go over there, Dalton's in there working out. He's hustling. He's getting ready. And that's what got the guy winning so dang much. I mean, his mental game is so good. His athleticism is so good. I mean, he's riding fantastic horses. You never see those guys get on horses that they can't win on. They're always giving themselves an opportunity, making the right decisions, and that's why all these guys are having so much success.
It's an interesting thought because I think calf roping probably don't have as many elite tier guys. Saddle bronc is one of those events where you got 5 to 8, but steer wrestling you got 8 to 9 to 10 guys that all have a legitimate real shot at winning a gold buckle who are at the elite level.
Every year that you go into the NFR, there's 15 guys there, and after 10 days, any one of those 15 guys can win the world. It's whoever gets hot, whoever's hitting the barrier. All these guys bulldog great, and we get to run great cattle at the finals. I mean, yes, a lot of guys do get drawn out at the finals where you have a steer that maybe doesn't leave as sharp, or you have a steer that wants to slip a horn, gets away, but not very often do you draw a steer where it's like, oh my God, this steer's going to take me out. I mean, last year at the finals, I won 5th in the average. I had thrown all my steers down, had no broke barriers, and I'm 5th. I'm a third of the way to the top, and that's not any major mistakes. I mean, that's pretty tough bulldog. After 10 days, I think the first 4 holes in the bulldog was within 2 seconds of one another after 10 head. I mean, that's super, super close.
Who has 6 world titles in the bulldogging?
Yeah, I was
Homer Pettigrew. He's got it back in like the 30s and 40s. It wasn't even NFR era or nothing like that. As far as NFR era goes, Luke and I both have the most. We both got 5. But as far as world titles go, I mean, I'm not going to take it away from the guy back in the day that went out and won the world 6 times. So he's got the record, and that's the one we got to beat.
That was that Turtle
Association.
Yeah. Oh, really? When I ask people about Tyler Waguespack, they say what stands out to them a lot of times is how much you practice. Is that something that you've always done and always will do? How do you stay sound practicing that much and feeling so good? And I don't know, I guess motivated to practice so hard as you do so many years later into your career?
I love the practice pen. Like I said, my dad and I, every day that I'm home or in the practice pen, no matter what, I've got guys that, like Cash Rob's been living at my house for the last 4 years, practicing every day. I think that's what's got the kid to where he is now. I mean, he came from his parents up here in Utah, tremendous fundamentals, worked hard, all this, that, and other, but we grinded out in the practice pen. I've got a buddy of mine down home, JD Robinson. He runs a Sailborn down home. He's got 35 head of steers waiting on me for whenever I get home. And he buys anything that comes through the yard that's got horn. If it don't work, we send it right on back through. We're practicing on anything possible because there's no telling what we're running at the rodeos nowadays. You kind of got to be ready for it. But we'll run anywhere from probably 20 to 30 head on the ground each day, a man. Whenever we're working the good horses, they get 2 runs a week. And if they're really working good, not having any problems, we'll just do scoring on them. Practice horses, they're going to get it. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're going to take the toll and do the runs and the practice session and stuff. But yeah, man, every day that I'm home, we're grinding it out in the practice pen.
You trying to improve or are you maintaining?
Trying to maintain. At both. If you ever stop learning in this event, you're going to get beat. I mean, there's going to be things that, that JD's doing, that Dalton's doing, that Jesse's doing, that's working for them. And we'll be sitting there kind of watching. And the guys, we share everything with everyone. It's like, hey, man, how'd you make that steer hit right there? And Kyle will say, man, I got over this steer a little bit, maybe got to the nose a little bit sooner on him right here, just something. And we're going to bring that back to trying to make it work for us. Just anything that we can do to sharpen up. Because like I say, if you ever quit learning in this event, that's when you're going to get beat. The sport is always adapting.
So in basketball, Steph Curry revolutionized the game by shooting the ball 4 feet regularly behind the 3-point line. Last 20 years, has there been something like that in the steer wrestling that has a move that's revolutionized or a way of wrestling the steer?
I don't know if there's a move. I think guys are getting more away from it being such a brute force event into slowing down and using those fundamentals or using their technique, because the cattle are slowly getting smaller. In return to them getting smaller, they're getting faster. So now we've got to adapt for where the horses got to be faster. Well, with them getting smaller, now we got to worry about a knockdown. So now instead of just ripping and hitting on our butt and trying to pull back and slow them down, now we're having to hit on our feet, try to guide the cow to the ground more. It's like I said, that's where the more athleticism is coming in. Your horsepower is going to have to amp up. It's not so much, you don't need a horse to be able to score as much anymore as you need one to break the line and run.
Older bulldogging runs to me, like obviously I'm just the casual fan, but it looked like you said where they're getting a hold of them and it's almost U-turn stop momentum. And now, did you revolutionize that, or where did that come from? Where it's more over the top,
driving the motorcycle. Hey, Matt Reeves said you drive the motorcycle and then you.
I think that was one of Rotemeyer's quotes he does for all the kids and stuff like that. The events, the sport's always changing, but it's just whatever you can get through to somebody to make them understand. Bulldogging in somebody's head to starting is actually backwards from what it is. Everybody thinks you're supposed to pull and yank and this, that, and other. You're wanting to go forward. You want to slide the steer through, and it's like I say, it's backwards to everybody. So it's whatever you can communicate with them to make them realize what you're trying to say. My first year making the finals, we was at Luke Branquino's house, and Luke kept telling one of the guys, he said, hey, man, whenever you slide the steer, mash on your right toe. And I'm sitting there going, what in the shit are you talking about? So I pulled Luke to the side and said, hey, what are you telling him? Mash on your right toe. Luke said, don't worry about it. You already do it. I said, what are you talking about? He said, okay. He said, get in your stance like you're bulldogging. So I kind of get in your stance. I'm sitting here like this. He said, okay. He said, now Wag, get over your steer. I get over my steer. He said, where's your pressure at? I said, it's on my right toe. He goes, yeah. He said, you do it. He said, I've heard your dad say 1,000 times, get over him or get your elbow out. He said, that's what's putting the pressure out there. He said, this guy here, he said, I'm just telling him the same thing a different way. And that's why the event's kind of confusing, but you got to be able to tell somebody how it makes sense in their head.
Some of the greats in, I think, all different disciplines, maybe not the best coaches. You said you've helped Cash get to where he's at over the last 4 years, and you have kids coming over all the time. Do you consider yourself a great athlete and coach? Or
man, I cannot take it. I cannot take the credit from Cash. Justin Robb and his family up there in Altamont, Utah, all the way from the grandparents to aunts and uncles up there, they've done everything to make that kid as wonderful as he is as a person and as a bulldogger. Now, he comes to my house. All I do is I give him the opportunity to practice. If I can give him pointers here and there, that's one thing, but I'll never take the credit for making that kid as successful as he is. That was all that family up there. And as far as all the other kids coming around or even older guys coming around, if you come up to me and ask me what I think could help your run, I'm going to tell you, but I'm not going to go out of my way, because if something's working for you, I don't want to try to change you. Last year, Walt Arnold, which was before he got hurt, he was making outstanding runs. He had 40-something thousand one before the summer, he's sitting in a good spot and all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling Cash and Talon Rosen a couple little things in the practice pen, because they have always been practicing with me. And Walt comes up to me and said, hey, well, why don't you tell me that? And I said, well, Walt, I said, you've having a lot of success. I said, the 4th of July is next week. I said, I don't want to change you. I don't want to try to make you think one way. I said, even if I think it's going to help you, I said, I don't want to change what you're doing. You're having so much success. Let's keep doing what you're doing. I said, now, if you want to come to the house this fall, I said, hopefully, at the time, I said, hopefully after you make the NFR this year, because, I mean, he was doing great. I said, if you want to come to the house, I said, I'll gladly help you and tell you anything. I'm an open book. Whatever can help you out, I'm going to help you. Just because if you see something you think can help me. I'm all for it, So, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm necessarily a coach, but I'll dang sure give you whatever my 2 cents is to help you do better.
It was pretty hilarious hearing Matt talk about it, talking about young kids. Hey, when are you practicing? Let me come practice. He's like, if I have to tell you when I'm practicing, clearly you don't want it bad enough.
Whenever Cash lived at, whenever he's staying down at the house, I may be doing something else. I may be going check cows or doing something in the house or listening to my wife make me clean stalls, which she does that all the dang time. But Cash, we're going to practice every day at 5 o'clock. We're at 4 o'clock. He's got the arena drug. He's got his horses saddled, my horses saddled, the steers are pinned, and he'll be sitting there like just a little kid, just sitting on the fence, just waiting on me to pull up. I'm like, all right, let's get going. It takes people like that. You don't want to go and tell somebody, hey, man, we're practicing at 5:30 rolls around. You're calling, hey, dude, where you at? If you want it, the guys that want it, they're going to show up and do it.
That kind of ties into the question I had too about what Matt was talking about, a rookie getting in the rig. Obviously, you got a great crew with you and everything, but if a younger guy or however age guy that has never made the NFR wants to get in with a great bulldogger and get in with the right crew, what advice do you have to him to try to get that done?
Man, you better bust your butt and work hard. You better be willing to do a lot of the stuff in the crew that nobody else wants to do. And I'm pretty sure Matt said it to y'all. You've got to be able to win. I can only have you have an opportunity like you have for so long. If you're not putting stuff on the table, if you're not bringing stuff to the table, you're going to have to, do your own thing. But a lot of kids or a lot of young guys that are looking for crews and stuff right now, they're hungry. So, they're constantly asking, hey, what can I do? How can I do this? What can I do? And I'll be honest, we give them some crap jobs. This Cash Rob from 11 o'clock to 4 a.m., get the wheel, Bubba. That's you. We would go in there. We can go get Cash a blue Powerade, put it on the console. We go to bed. We'll wake up where you got to go. It's your turn to drive, bud. And he was talking to us earlier or yesterday. He was driving over here. He said, man, when are y'all going to start driving? I said, whenever you're not the rookie in the rig no more. He said, well, can we get somebody else to come in? I said, no. I said, we feel pretty good right now. But you for a while.
I was about to say, the sucker wins the average record. Wins the average at the finals.
So then he tells me and Stetson Jorgensen, we're going down the road, and he says, well, what's something that I could do? Like, let's do like an accomplishment that I get that I can do. And he's trying to push it to the NFR average. And I was like, all right, man. I said, well, let's just do career earnings. And he looks at us, he goes, y'all been rodeo for 10 years. I said, well, you might want to tighten up, man.
Better get to winning the lot averages.
Oh, yeah.
It'll take about 4.
It's going to take him a minute, but you'll get there one day.
Man. Yeah, when you're retired.
Yeah.
What, do you have a lot of people that come up to you and say, like, can I come to the house and practice? Yeah, man, I got a lot of people. A lot of people send me videos and stuff. And like I said, I'm not going to say that. I said earlier, I don't think of myself as a coach or call myself a coach, but I'm willing to help anybody. So, I've got a lot of my buddies will text me, say, hey, man, can you watch some of these runs and help me out on stuff that I need to work on, stuff like that? All for it. I've got guys that I'll go stay in their house just while we're rodeoing, passing through, and they know that we're coming. Heck, they go grab some practice steers, they're ready, and they make some runs, and we're going to talk about it, work on people getting better. So, it's just going to make the sport better. Back to what you said. You said coming to Nampa, y'all have already talked about trades and where everybody's going to be. Y'all have it all settled. Team ropers are just now figuring out yesterday. You said you've talked to all the guys that are in the union, so to say. Are there some castaways that y'all have, because they don't get the code, they're not in the group?
No. Man, all bulldoggers, if they ever have the deal where the fight breaks out and one bulldogger starts the fight and he's wrong, he's still got 40 other ones on his side. Like that. Yeah. We all stick together. Nobody really gets cast out or any of that kind of stuff. Every one of us is willing to help each other out.
Man, so yeah, we had Matt. Matt kind of brought us a business side and a different perspective, and that was awesome. But you were definitely a bucket freaking dream guest for us. So thank you so much for coming.
Oh, appreciate it.
Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
I'm glad you guys like me more than Matt. I love Matt too, though.
Well, Matt's gonna be like, hey, when can I come back on? I got a big leg.
Yeah, no, Matt's a good buddy of mine. No, I love Matt. I enjoyed listening to his podcast. He had a lot of good stuff.
Man, you were walking over here with the same shirt. I can't believe Cash told me.
Yeah, I know. Cash Rob stopped me. He said, dude, you got the same shirt Matt had on earlier. I'm like, oh my God, no, I got to go change that.
That would have been gold.
Yeah. Oh, every bulldog in the world. I would have been the butt of every joke tomorrow morning.
Thanks a lot, Wag.
Heck yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me.